It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go! Tuesday show, August 22nd, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com if you're watching live. However you are watching, listening, consuming Woodward Sports, we absolutely appreciate you, and we appreciate the big guy, Braylon Edwards. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
Hey, look, for those of you that can't see clearly, I'm not trying to scare you Michigan fans. This is Jets. It's Jets. I know it's green and white, but what the hell, we're almost in football season. What's up, Ryan?
You, baby.
How you feeling, man?
We're only about 1 day away, which I am actually more interested in this latest episode of Hard Knocks because I want to see if you make the cut.
Right.
I mean, those Hard Knocks cameras were all over you when you were in New Jersey with the embrace of Aaron Rodgers and all that stuff. So
it was good energy. You know, it was good to see Mark. It was good to see Aaron, and you know they're filming it. They're thinking about it's like back down memory lane for those guys again. It's like 2010 all over again. So if I'm on there, I'm on there. You know what I'm saying? But I got a lot of national love already, so I'm humble and I'm cool with that. But if there's more, I'm open to it.
You're getting a lot of local love from the man in the chair himself, the great Tom Mazaway. Maz, good afternoon.
Hey, Ryan. Hey, Bray. Welcome back.
What's up, man?
I haven't seen you in a while. I saw you maybe one day, but...
So it was quick, though, because my sister was getting married.
That's right. It was quick. But you look younger today than you did then.
You say that, and I appreciate that, man. You know, it's a little shine to it. I think it's being outside, man, getting the sun rays. Again, it was too much sun, if you asked me yesterday, but
Jalen Rose.
It was a lot of fun out there, though. Good to see Jalen Rose in the community. This is year 9 for the JRLA, the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy outing at DGC. More sponsors, more celebrities there. I even got a chance to see Clarence from 8 Mile, a.k.a. Anthony Mackie. So, good things for Jalen.
I got a visitor in from town, from Jersey. My main man, John Franklin, is visiting
Jersey
Uncle Tommy.
Jersey
Uncle
John
Tommy. Hey,
is here?
stick your head in here,
Oh, my
John.
gosh. Stick
Come
your head in
behind
there,
me.
Jersey John.
Stick it right over here. Come down a little. There you are. There you are.
When I think of Jersey, I think of a guy that looks like Jersey John.
This kid,
he's got the locks, the flowing locks.
He's got it going. I've known him since he was like 7 years old. He grew up with my nephew, Matt. Shout out to Matt back home. Works for BetMGM now. He's like a big-time social media guru. He does a reality TV. The kid's got it.
Good for you, Jersey John.
Yeah, you brought up BetMGM, so I need to talk to you after the show. You know, BetMGM been taking all my money, man. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe we can give some back.
See, there we go. We'll talk. We'll figure that out, man.
It never worked like that for me.
Because you got to open your mouth. The squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Hey, he was in town to cover your event yesterday that you were at because Jalen Rose is part of BetMGM as well. So you're going to be on that video, I hear.
I can't wait. I had a chance to meet Jersey Johnny yesterday, and they had a question on the course. You know, I think it was hole 4. And the question was, if you could golf with anybody or play with anybody in a scramble, who would that person be? And, everybody's going to say Tiger or Phil or some version of one of the young kids today. I was like, got to be good, got to think about it. And so I went up there and I said, if I had a chance to play with anybody in my scramble, it would be Jamie Foxx. Welcome back. Who's also a BetMGM guy. So.
You know he is.
Next summer, you're going to be playing with him in the tournament, by the way.
Squeaky wheel, baby. Squeaky wheel.
You should get him on the show while you're best friends with him now.
Hey, man, I'm working on it, man. I know where he's from, Terrell, Texas, so we're working on that.
Oh,
man.
my gosh. Parker and JB with us today. Gentlemen, how you guys doing? We appreciate you. Braylon, I got a treat for you, okay? So, coming up in September, it'll be 20 years since I've been at Fox 2.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so...
You that old?
Yeah, I am getting up there. And our main man there, Doug Tracy, was going through some old Ryan Ermanni videos and found this gem.
Woody, earlier this week, Braylon Edwards won the award for Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, but the award shouldn't stop there. He's the front runner for the Biletnikoff Award, which goes to the sport's top wide receiver. Now, what about the Heisman? You rarely hear his name mentioned when you talk about college football's top honor, and that's just fine with him.
I don't pay any attention to the Heisman race or what my contenders did. You know, it's fun to watch highlights and see other guys doing well, but I'm not one of those guys that pays attention to other people's stats and try to compare myself. That's not what it's about. You know, I feel that if guys have to do that, then they're at school for the wrong things.
Now, while Edwards won't talk himself up, head coach Lloyd Carr and Braylon's teammates most certainly will do that for him.
I think he's the best football player in the country, and I believe that.
His maturity and his ability to make plays and the presence he has in our offense and in the huddle, I think he's doing a great job this year.
He's showing great leadership, the way he plays. He's unselfish. I mean, you see him go in on punt returns, and he plays just as hard on punt returns as he does on a pass play.
And that type of unselfish play has gotten Edwards back on the quote-unquote same page as Lloyd Carr.
Braylon loves to win, and so I can deal with anything with guys that love to win.
Ryan Ermanni, Fox 2 Sports.
How great is that? How great is that?
So first of all, I would say this: we've come a long way. We've come a very long way.
2004.
I think you were awesome, right?
You were amazing.
You were
Isn't
awesome.
that funny?
Wow, what happened to that guy, man?
Oh, man.
And Braylon,
that
you
guy
look
lived about
really
3
young
lives
in that
since
one.
then.
Yeah, that guy, he knew how to play the game because everything coming out of my mouth was BS. I definitely was looking at everybody's stats, and I wanted to be at the Heisman. But now to hear that from Lloyd Carr and Tim and Kevin Dudley and Mike Hart, and just it reminds you what it was all about, man. That was a gem right there, Ryan Ermanni. You've been working there that long?
That was unbelievable. And I thought the greatest part about that, besides besides how young you looked,
right,
is Lloyd Carr going up to that podium, owning that podium. I think he's the best football player in the country, and there's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How cool is that to hear Lloyd with that command?
And then later
who was
on
at Fairway Packing, by the way.
I heard.
this
past
weekend.
yeah.
Unbelievable.
And then later he would tell Braylon, go sit down. The hell off. You're not playing today.
Now, I was good my senior year. That was my junior year. But it's just a testament to, our relationship at Michigan. Like with Coach Carr as being, the guy, Coach Carr being the guy that we're learning from. He's the father figure up there. There are some good days and there are some bad days. And, my senior year, it was a culmination of all the things that we had worked on together, he and I, and our senior year. That relationship was in full-fledged, full bloom. As you relate.
Incredible stuff. Just so fun to look down memory lane. How far you and I have both come to ultimately do that and then sit here 20 years later. Pretty darn cool. I want to thank Fox 2 photojournalist extraordinaire Doug Tracy for finding that video. Absolutely.
I got to steal it now.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Ryan, I think we should get a new Ryan
intro
video every day or once a week. I need a throwback Ryan Fox 2 video.
There's got to be some good stuff in there.
Look back, man.
So funny.
That is great.
Oh my gosh, guys, a lot of Lions news to get to today, but I'd like to let you know that Woodward Sports Lions reporters Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Detroit legend Terry Foster are sitting at the corner of Woodward and Main Street, bringing you the latest inside information on the Detroit Lions. Episodes will be coming to you 2 times a week all season long on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel on Sundays from 8 to 9 a.m., Tuesdays from 7 to 8 a.m. It premieres on Tuesday, September 5th. You do not want to miss this. Tune in and watch the most in-depth reporting, breakdown of the games, the players, preparing you for the next time the Lions hit the gridiron. Woodward Sports Lions Insider Show, Detroit's first stop for game day. We'll be looking forward to that. Let's get to some Detroit Lions news. Braylon Edwards, I will tell you, today feels like an important day at camp anyway. And I want to get your take on this. There's one guy in this room that played professional football. And as I'm looking across over here, this guy didn't. So it's got to be you.
I played for the 1970 Pee Wee Jets, though.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Champions.
It feels like a big day at camp. Final week of essentially the preseason. But Dan Campbell said today that the Lions are going to be doing some hitting. They're going to try to get ready for this game. And the workload is going to ramp up. He wants to get these guys to the point where they can play a full NFL football game. So when you are playing against, ones-on-ones today and stuff like that in practice, just how much work is getting done on a day like today when you are ones versus ones and you're out there getting your reps in?
It's going to be a lot of work that gets done today. It's going to be a lot of aggression because when you play ones versus one, those guys want to get it in. Cam Sutton wants to lock down Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown wants to catch a pass and make C.J. Gardner-Johnson and the secondary look silly. So you get a lot of work in, and it's a lot of hitting. These are those good days. These are the days, you don't get too many of those days ones versus one because the intensity, the aggression, and guys getting after it. But you want to make guys better. You want to take care of guys. These are the days that you're going to see professionals be professionals, learning the reps, working with the young guys, telling the young guys, hey, pay attention to this, look at how we're doing it on this. So these are those days in practice. They're going to stuck because the coaches are really going to be aggressive. The coaches are going to be yelling at everybody. Players are going to get frustrated. These are those dog days of summer, as they call them in training camp, or the dog days of training camp. But you get that one-on-one, is going to help you when you get to that Thursday night against Kansas City. So there's going to be a lot of focus and a lot of paid attention on this, and you're going to get a lot of film. And this is going to be the film that you watch a lot throughout the rest of camp, throughout the rest of preseason.
And Maz, one of the things that Dan Campbell said today, too, is it's still all about them. They will mix in some Kansas City prep tomorrow. There's about 16 days to go before Lions and Chiefs play on the field at Arrowhead on September 7th. So, again, they'll mix that in tomorrow, but today it is still all about the Lions.
This is when you get honest, true work in, too, because a lot of times you'll have, the first-team offense going against a show Kansas City defense or a show whatever team the Detroit Lions are playing up next. So you'll get that type of situation. This time, when it's ones versus ones, the Detroit Lions are going to run whatever defense they want to run. They're going to run whatever defense they're trying to work on for the upcoming season. The Lions are going to run the type of offense that they're working on for the upcoming games, the Kansas City game, followed by the Seahawks game, followed by the first kind of 3 weeks of the season. So you're going to see a lot of times where it's not perfect on the on the offensive side, or it's not perfect on the defense side and they get cooked. But they're working on different things. They're not working against each other. They're working more so on their schemes that they're going to implement through the season. So a lot of times you'll see some mess-ups, and you have to accept that in the scheme of watching the film. Like, okay, you know what? They play this type of coverage. They're looking for something else, and we just happen to get Amon-Ra running deep wide open. It's not going to be like that on game day. But you're working for the season and not just that particular day.
Can you believe it, man? It's 2 weeks and 2 days away.
2 weeks
That's
from
it.
Thursday.
It's unbelievable to me. And I know college football starts this weekend. You said Notre Dame and Navy. It's time, man. We've waited a long time. The draft seems eons ago. I'm just ready to see these guys on the field and get to watch a real football game. Last night I watched the preseason game. I'll talk about it later, but I was into it. The Washington against the Ravens. It was a good game. I'll talk to you about it later.
I know.
But I was hooked in.
I want to mention one thing about that, too. I have added another list. I've added another team to the list of.
Look out. Here comes Washington.
Here comes Washington.
Steelers,
So you got the whole AFC East, the whole NFC East.
He's got the whole AFC North.
You got the North.
Right.
That's right. You got the West now with the Raiders and the Broncos.
Now has the
along with the
Commanders.
Chiefs.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Guys, we'll take a break. When we come back, you will hear from Dan Campbell talking about depth, talking about how he and Brad Holmes make those final roster cuts. What about Amon-Ra St. Brown? Lots going on regarding those Detroit Lions. But first, a message from Dispo.
Experience the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products with Dispo Dispensary. And that's right, this Friday, as always it seems, we will be at Dispo. Dispo in Hazel Park. Should be a lot of fun. Over 12 locations around the state. Remember, it's 21 and up, and it is only recreational, but it doesn't matter because it has the highest brands of hydroponics that you can get. Yo, check it out. Dispo, your local plug.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. Because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
some of the biggest names in Michigan sports. And some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Jumper! Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That is exactly what Mark White and Associates offers. It's called a minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. That number again, 248-290-8242, markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Woodward Sports Network. Hey, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Less than 300 subscribers away from 47,000. I'd love to get to 50,000 subscribers if we could in the next 2 weeks. Do you think that's remotely possible?
Maybe so. Maybe during football season.
Maybe during football season.
Maybe during football season.
No, aim high, aim high.
But we are doing well, picking up people every day. Instagram is like flying high.
Yeah, the social media channels
really
are doing
is.
great. Absolutely. YouTube as well.
We got to get John Franklin involved in this. He can get that social media thing going.
Oh, yeah, Jersey John,
Yep,
baby.
Jersey
John in the house. Braylon, you mentioned Amon-Ra St. Brown. I want to do a couple of things. First, this is what Dan Campbell, quick bite, this is what Dan Campbell said about Amon-Ra and his progression from injury, I should say.
He's doing good. He's doing good. I mean, we weren't going to play him in Carolina, so, but he's doing great.
Okay, that's good news.
Right.
He's doing great. Amon-Ra, not expected to be anything serious. He's going to be out there week 1, 2 weeks from Thursday against Kansas City. I wanted to kind of go back and forth if we could. Yesterday we talked about Dave Burkett's 53-man roster projection, and he had talked about how he expects the Lions to keep 5, not 6 receivers on the roster, and they'll go out and trade for somebody or acquire somebody. Maybe there's a free agent out there right now. You've heard the names, Jarvis Landry, Julio Jones.
Yeah.
You know, is that an expectation? Or, do you just wait, get into the season, see what you got, see who's falling off, and then make a trade with that team? But what do you think about keeping 5 wide receivers and in this, Dylan Drummond, Chase Cota, Antoine Green, kind of back end guys that are trying to make this final roster spot? Whether one of those guys or 2 of those guys get the job, how difficult is this? And you've been talking about how thin this group is for a long time. It feels like they are one Amon-Ra St. Brown hamstring, ankle tweak, Josh Reynolds hamstring. One, any tweak to the big 4 right now, and this group is in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, any tweak to the big 4 in this group is in trouble right now. But that's why I always wanted that other wide receiver, whether it was a D-Hop guy or whether it was a guy along those lines. There were some guys out there. I thought that just to shore it up, just to make sure that we were good. But I don't think they're going with 6. I think they're going with 5 because they're going to get somebody else. I think they're good. That guy before the season starts, you'll find a guy that'll come in here. You mentioned Juice Landry, Jarvis Landry. And Jarvis is a guy that. You've seen the production. You've seen what he's done. They need a guy to come here, short-handed, knows the position, knows the game, can make plays. And you only want this for a short window. You're just trying to make sure that you have a guy that can come in here. You're trying to make sure you have an open spot. You don't want to commit to one of these spots and these guys, and then now you're covering that spot up. And now if a guy wants to come in, you got to cut that guy to bring a guy in. I think you're just leaving that space open for if something comes up or when something comes up, because they definitely are going to get another wide receiver before the season starts, and they just aren't happy with the wide receiver core they have. They're not happy with Green. They're not happy with the rest of the wide receivers. They're not making that step. They're not showing, in Dan Campbell's mind, which we talked about last week, how much they want to be on this team, how much they value the opportunity to play wide receiver in this league. So he's going to leave that spot open, and he's going to leave it for somebody else that's not playing in Allen Park right now.
And that kid, Maurice Alexander, who took one back 95 yards week 1.
Right.
He's
and
on the cusp,
nice
too.
return, too, Maz.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. There's a bunch of guys fighting for that spot, right? But I believe that they go outside this group to get somebody. I really do.
Well, because of where they are as well, right? It's a lot tougher now to fill these spots because of what you're expected to do. What the ceiling that you want this season to be is a Super Bowl, not win 5 games or not avoid double-digit losses or something like that. You're not building, rebuilding a team here. You're trying to win a division and go to the Super Bowl. That's what your expectations are. And you never know when you're going to need that 48th guy, that 50th guy, or the 53rd man on the roster.
Now, you look at the New York Jets when I got there and I got traded there, they had Jericho Cotchery, they had Brad Banks, not Brad Banks, they had Brad Smith and a couple other wide receivers, but they weren't sure of the wide receiver spot. But what they did was a kind of similar thing. They waited until the 4th week of the season. They said, hey, you know what, we're going to greenlight this trade. We're going to greenlight this move. And they traded for me from Cleveland. And maybe that's a situation that the Lions are doing as well. You keep that spot open. You see what other teams are thinking. Because there's some teams that have wide receivers right now that aren't going to win their division, that aren't happy necessarily with the space they're in with that wide receiver. And the Lions are just kind of looking at the situations like what divisions, what can we get a wide receiver, what team? And you're looking at the guys. And this is why you have scouts that scout year-round for Brad Holmes or for other teams, because they know these answers. They've been looking at these guys, and this is something that the Lions have just now started to look at. I guarantee you, Brad Holmes has been looking at this position for the better part of 6 months to 7 months, and they're looking at guys. They have a short list of guys, and they got a short list of GMs that they wouldn't mind working with and doing the deal that, hey, if you give us such and such, we'll give you this and that and the third. I think I went for a 5th round pick. So I think that they're paying attention to that as well.
I mean, let's face it, we all fantasy football GMs, right? We all want a D-Hop.
Yeah.
The first name, but they're not going to pay him. This guy, the guy they're going to bring in is a 3rd guy, number 3 or number 4, because they already have a number 5 in one of these guys that are on the team right now. I believe they'll trade for a 3 or a 4 somewhere. They will trade a draft pick and get someone. I don't even think they'll wait to the waiver wire.
Yeah. Let me tell you that Woodward Sports loves college football. Do you love college football? Woodward Sports loves college football. That's why we're bringing you Woodward Sports, the love of college football pregame show, the latest WSN show to tune in to the YouTube channel. Spencer, Raxter, Flannel Sam, Easy, and many more get you ready for the college football kickoff premiering live on September 2nd, every Saturday morning from 8:30 to 10 on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Whether you are a Sparty or a Wolverine or a fan of any other team that we won't mention, we welcome you all to start your day of loving college football with Woodward Sports Network every week. Going back to Brad Holmes, guys, Dan Campbell talked about the relationship that those two men have when it comes to cutting players. Yeah. Here's that soundbite.
We'll flip a coin. We don't. That doesn't come up. We've never had, who's going, man, we figure it out. We always do.
The question was, if there's a tie on a player, who gets to decide who you keep? And he's like, that's never happened. They are so in sync with each other, and that's why I think there's a different feel for this team in that building with that organization.
Hasn't happened yet.
But
Hasn't happened yet. I'm just joking.
No doubt. But he did say they talked about it last night, and they were pretty in sync on where they are and their initial kind of conversation about it.
Yeah, because they look for the same type of player and they see the same type of thing. So, for them right now, they understand that wide receiver position needs some help right now, and they understand they're not getting the most out of that guys on that position, looking for that 6th spot. So they're open to seeing, hey, who's out there, who's next. Once again, who are the guys on the list that we've been looking at? Because there are going to be some guys out there that you can grab.
Hey, let's face it, whatever reporter it was, they're asking about final cutdowns. It's not till next Tuesday to begin with.
A week from today.
Yeah, a week from today. And hell, man, who the hell knows who you're going to cut now? You're not going to say who you're going to cut now. So the question, I guess, I don't know how it was spun, but he kind of made light of it. Of course, we're going to flip a coin and see who stays and who goes.
I'll give you an example, kind of like guys you can kind of look for and guys you've been scouting. Look at a team like the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals are a dumpster fire. Correct, Maz?
Yes.
Look at a guy like Rondale Moore. Look at a guy like Rondale Moore, who was great at Purdue, who's fast, who's explosive, hasn't necessarily gotten his feet off the ground in Arizona. How much would it take to really get Rondale Moore here? And what could he do? What could the upside be, him being a Detroit Lion? I could see a guy like Rondale Moore even still being on the team. Once you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, once you have Jamison Williams in there, Rondale Moore could still be a guy. He's a 4-3 guy. He's explosive. That's the type of guys, and I'm telling you, that are already on their radar and the type of situations that they've already seen. Like, we know Arizona, we can go pluck this guy, and they will be happy to give him away. Those are the type of things that Brad Holmes is doing right now.
Your facts.
Maz, I kind of disagree with you about that. I thought it was a really good question because even though he's not going to tell you who is cut, do you have a pretty good idea of where you stand right now, 7 days from today?
Well, what do we always talk about here on this show? There's like 3 spots open, maybe 4 spots open. So you already know.
Well, yes and no. I think because there is this. Let me finish my thought here.
Sorry.
You've had a rookie mini camp. You've had OTAs. You've had mini camp. You've had training camp. You have 7 days left to make this team.
Yeah.
If there's a group of guys still vying for 1, 2, or 3 spots, that tells me that nobody's really come and grabbed a spot.
Fact.
That's what that tells me. So it does feel like this 7 days is a big 7 days for about probably 12 guys, 15 guys. Look, you keep 53. They've got 90 on the roster right now. Of those 90, legitimately, so of the 37, if my quick math is doing it, of the 37 guys that are going to get cut, probably 15 of those 37 have a legitimate shot at those 3, 4, 5 spots.
Yeah.
And it does feel like this week is going to matter to them. And this week is going to matter because nobody of those 37 guys has kind of come up and owned that spot.
Correct.
Or won a spot decidedly to the point where, that particular player's work is done.
I feel it, but Dan said it. And he said, Brad and I, we know what we're doing. He basically said, we know what we're doing. We're on the same page. It's just going to take time. This week is big, like you said. They're going to be fighting for their lives and play at Carolina one last time.
Yeah, this will be a huge week. And the thing about it, too, is this would be a pivotal week because you got to see not only who wants it more, but who can play when the pressure's on. Like, who's the guy that can come up when the pressure's on? Like, last year, Tom Kenny was your guy last year, man.
Yes.
Tom Kenny was killing it in camp. The year before that, he killed the last year. He was killing in camp. But when the time came to make those plays so that he can make that roster, Tom Kenny dropped 2 touchdown passes, like, in the crunch. And I'm not putting it all on him. I'm just saying they want to see, because they know, guys know, if I don't make this team, I may not get another opportunity with another team. It may be a year before somebody calls me and say, hey, we want to give you a shot. So all the marbles are on the table right now. Who's the guy that can make some plays? Who's the guy that can step up and act like it's nothing? They're waiting to see that guy. And if they can't see that guy and the guys that are on the team now, that's when they're going to use the scouting report that they already have on other teams and other players.
Maybe they're thin at wide receiver. They are not thin at a couple of different positions along the defense. Dan Campbell talks about that. You'll hear what he has to say. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. As we mentioned, Lloyd Carr was there on Saturday. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks. Order online, fairwaypacking.com, fairwaypacking.com.
Source aged prime cut, packed to perfection.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
At the Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house with regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field that can also be used for 7-on-7 football. K-8 that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K-8 athletics. We, the Ermanni and Edwards with Mad Show, will be broadcasting from their carnival August 24th. So come meet the staff and explore your child's new school. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollment, so go to academyofwarren.net. That website again, academyofwarren.net.
I think the obvious here is, man, D-end, OLB-ish, we got some good depth. Inside linebacker, we got some good depth. I mean, those two spots, the safety / nickel, man, we got some depth and versatility. And because of that, that's where you draw from if something goes down in other areas.
It's an interesting way for roster construction. Totally understand what he's talking about. It almost feels like a little bit of draft prep. Dan Campbell talking about, the depth that this team has on the defensive line and linebacker at safety. I mean, there's going to be a good player cut in the defensive backfield. There's going to be a good player cut at linebacker. There's going to be a good player or two cut on the defensive line. Yeah. That's just where this defense is. And, by the way, one of the many reasons why I believe this football team is going to be much better this year is because I do project this defense to play a lot better than they did at any point. But Braylon is the third quarterback better than the fourth cornerback? Is defensive lineman 9 better than cornerback 5? You know what I mean? Like in deciding where you're going to keep an extra player at any different position. It almost feels like best available player, they're keeping them.
Yeah, it just depends on the value that player has or that position has to the team at that specific given time. I mean, look at the Steelers, man. We talk about the Steelers all the time in terms of how a team has been built from the ground up and how they stay ground up. How many good players have the Steelers let go? Last time I checked, they let go of one this year, and we picked him up.
Snell.
You know what I'm saying? And then they
Cam Sutton,
thank
too.
you.
And Benny Snell.
Both of you guys are right. Both things can be true. But how many players have the Pittsburgh Steelers let go of that were damn good players? How many players have the 49ers let go of, and the Ravens? And the list goes on of teams that have stood the test of time, that teams are in the playoffs every year or they're in Super Bowl contention. That's what the Lions are now building to. So it's good that we have that problem. But to answer your question, it just depends on the position that need. Like if you're talking about how good is the third quarterback on a team that the second quarterback is pretty good and the team on the fourth DB isn't that good, well then it'll be that fourth DB or it'll be that fifth DB. We need him more than we need that third quarterback. It just depends on what you need going into the season and how that team is constructed and built.
I think Dave might have shortchanged the running backs a little because I'm worried about a guy like Craig Reynolds. And again, I brought this up yesterday. If the team is really good and Craig Reynolds can't make this type of team, I get it. I understand. Maybe someone else takes it. Maybe he goes to the practice squad. But there are a couple of things on here that, I don't know. Would you keep the extra quarterback? They were the team that actually petitioned the NFL to play the third quarterback. Yeah. So what happened to San Francisco last year in the playoffs, wouldn't have happened if the Lions had their way. They would have had a third-string emergency quarterback. Otherwise, Christian McCaffrey would have been playing QB against the Eagles. So I don't know. Dave, I think, has got it really done well, but I think there's a couple of spots on here that I'd rather have someone else in that spot.
He did address that today, too. He said just because we proposed the emergency quarterback rule doesn't mean we're going to keep 3 quarterbacks. But, again, if we think our third quarterback is better than the 9th defensive lineman, then we're going to do that. And it's also interesting to see who they project, who they believe won't get picked up by anybody, and you could put them on the practice squad.
True. Yeah, 100%. It's all that. They have to go through waivers, clear out the waivers. And if they make it through waivers, then you can bring them back on your team. And that'd be a guy like Nate Sudfeld, you know. But at 3 quarterback thing, you got Jared Goff, you have Teddy Bridgewater, and then you have, Adrian Martinez. So because obviously Hendon Hooker will be on the physically unable to perform list. So it's interesting to see how they'll play that out, though. But once again, it goes to what position is more important.
If you remember last year, they tried to sneak David Blau onto the practice squad.
Yep.
Remember?
I do remember that.
Who came up and took him?
Minnesota.
It was the Minnesota Vikings. They gambled a little bit on that, and they crapped out. Speaking of gambling, there is one man at Woodward Sports to go to when you need your lock on College game day. If you should take the under for the Bears on Sunday, or if you just need to know how many glizzies Joey Chestnut is going to house this year, that man is Booner of Woodward Sports. Have no fear. Booner is locking in all football season to bring you the best picks only on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel, Saturdays at 11 a.m. and Sundays at 11:30 a.m. Premieres. It's September the 2nd, coming up in just a week or so. College football, he's got you. NFL football, you know it. Woodward Bets, watch it on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel, and Boone is right now in the chat as well, listening in.
Sup, Boone?
What up, Boone?
Just like those glizzies, that was a mouthful, man.
Hey, I read what they give me.
That was a mouthful.
Braylon, this is interesting. I want to bring this up in the chat. We've all thought about this. Robert Fournier in the chat put this out there.
Juicy Smoothie, what?
Robert Fournier.
Okay,
Only downfall to cutting Sudsy, talking about Nate Sudfeld, is he can spill the offensive playbook to whoever he goes. How we always think like that. I think, the minute David Blau was picked up by the Minnesota Vikings last year within the division, we automatically went to the fact that, the Vikings clearly just want the Lions' offensive playbook.
Correct.
Right.
Is that legitimate? Is that something?
It's partially true.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to a linebacker when I was in New York last weekend, Florham Park. Shout out to the Jets. You know what it is.
Shout out.
He was saying one of the main reasons why the New York Jets picked him up from the team. I won't disclose who he was, but one of the main reasons they picked him up, he was a dynamo as it relates to special teams for the team he was at. And when he came to New York, he's been giving them the playbook. And it's better how they, some of their special teams are pointing out things, or this is what I see. So, yes, there are a lot of times you'll see players get picked up that can play, first of all. You're not just picking up anybody. Guy has to have some talent. But then, yes, that has played in the place and you're trying to get some advantage. But at the end of the day, man, that's been going on for years. Man, that's been going on for years. It's no quarterback that's going to leave this team, go to another team, and give them the edge over us like you think, or the old adage, if you leave your playbook in the hotel, now they got your players. Yeah, that's one thing. But when you get rid of a guy and you get his playbook, and now you change things up when you're playing against that team. So guys will be fine. Nate Sudfeld isn't going to some other franchise like the Green Bay Packers or the Minnesota Vikings and going to hinder us once he got there. The Detroit Lions offense is set in stone. You want to beat the Detroit Lions offense, you got to beat them on the field now with tricks and schemes.
It feels, Maz, a little bit like a Yankees Red Sox, though, too. When you do stuff like that, it's like, okay, I'm going to make a trade for Johnny Damon just so you don't make a trade for Johnny Damon kind of thing, right?
It's a block, man. They you know how they block each other. I won't use the word, but they do block each other.
Oh, my God. It's so funny. Braylon, this came out yesterday as well. Dave Burkett put it out. Lions are going to activate Hendon Hooker at some point this season.
Yeah.
They could keep him on NFI, non-football injury list, all season long, and have an extra year of control of him. They are not going to do that. They're going to activate him so he can, become a free agent, go through the process, do your thing. I think I think that is just another example of this organization doing the right thing too. You don't want any. The Chicago Cubs, a long time ago, the first person I thought of was the Chicago Cubs.
Okay.
Chris Bryant ultimately won a World Series with him, all-star player. Now he plays for Colorado, I think, actually. But Chris Bryant earned a spot on the opening day roster back in, 2016.
Okay.
They made him go to the minor leagues for 12 days to keep an extra year of control under him, and then they brought him up. And I just thought this kid worked his whole life to make an opening day roster. And 12 days is 12 days, fine. I get it.
Yeah.
But it just felt so slimy. You know what I mean? He earned the spot.
Welcome to sports.
It did. He earned the spot, put him on the big league roster. He tore up exhibitions baseball, and they sent him to the minors so they can eke another year of eligibility out of him before he became a free agent. And that's the first person I thought of when I saw Dave Burkett's story yesterday. So I'm glad they're doing this for Hendon Hooker. It's the right thing.
At least they say they're doing it.
There are a lot of slimy owners as it relates to business, period. And that extends beyond sport. We were talking about some slimy owners before the show started that extended beyond football, if you know what I mean, Jersey Giant. But with that being said, the way the Detroit Lions are doing it, they're building it the right way. Everything they're trying to do is the right way, doing right by the players, doing right by the fans, doing right by the organization. They're building this thing in such a way. Now you look at players are going to be watching this and like, damn, that's a franchise I can mess with. That's a team I can get behind. That's some place that I would like to go and play my career. Hey, if I'm a coach, that's somewhere where I want to coach, because I've always said it was about the player. And this organization looks like they care about the player. Now I want to coach here. Now I want to be an insert job here at Allen Park. The Lions are doing it the right way, and they're continuing to get these little wins. Like, these wins will add up, and when you're looking at wherever the Lions are going to end up in the next 3 years, you're going to look at all these little wins, and you're going to put them like that, and they're going to be big wins to get where they ultimately want to be, which is the big dance, wherever that may be.
Does feel like they're just on the right direction. I saw Stephen A. Smith put his A-list top 5 teams in the NFC today. He left the Lions out of it, and
that's a talking piece, though.
Yeah, well, he had the top 3. I forgot what Eagles.
But he's gonna have Dallas on there.
Eagles, 49ers, Cowboys, and then he had number 4 Minnesota,
right?
And he had number 5 New Orleans, who nobody's talking about, and then Marcus Spears. I like Marcus Spears. I wish he was part of the
05 draft class, baby.
Yeah. I really like Marcus Spears. He is part of Monday Night Countdown, actually.
05 draft class.
Yeah,
I got Marcus Spears' story.
the only team I would put in there is the Lions. He gave him some pushback, so that was good.
Got a funny Marcus Spears story. I'll make it quick. So this is 2004, going to our senior year. The NCAA would allow, let's say Jerome Bettis camp. They would allow Jerome Bettis to fly up to 3, college athletes and bring them in and allow them to cover their room and their food. So this is back when we're trying to negotiate, in NCAA. I'll laugh at it. But anyway, Marcus Spears came in, Mark Clayton came in, wide receiver from Oakland, and Kevin Burnett, linebacker from Tennessee. Marcus Spears said, man, I heard about Detroit. He said, man, don't have me come up to Detroit and get shot. I was like, what? Come on, Speezy. You're not going. So he comes up. He does the camp with me. I took him to the fireworks. I shouldn't have took him to the fireworks. I take him to the fireworks at Hart's Plaza. And Detroit. They will show out for you. We got shot at. So we definitely got shot at. In 04. He was like, I thought you said I wasn't going to get shot at. I was like, hey, look, man, it's Detroit, man. It's unpredictable. So,
what do you mean you got shot at?
Well, they shooting downtown. They were shooting. We didn't do anything to get shot at.
Right,
but,
I get it.
Yeah, you got 300,000 people. You don't have to do anything to get shot at.
Oh, my God.
It happens on New Year's Eve as well.
So they're shooting up during New Year's. At the fireworks, they were shooting horizontal.
Oh my God, that is so great. Guys, the first power rankings are out in the NFL. Where are the Detroit Lions. Where do they rank preseason? We'll let you know coming up. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see this black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out of here. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Woodward Sports Network coming up on 47,000 subscribers, less than 300 subscribers away. Not 50,000 yet, but we will get there absolutely. If not before the Kansas City game, we will definitely get there throughout the football season. Tell a friend about Woodward Sports. Hit that like button if you are watching us on YouTube right now or whenever you're watching. But we're really excited about football season around here. We think we'll provide the best Lions coverage, the best NFL coverage anywhere in or around the city. Braylon, ESPN power rankings came out yesterday, and
you don't sound too happy.
Well, I am actually very happy.
Check that out.
Look who sneaks in at number 10.
How about that?
The Detroit Lions getting a lot of respect, a lot of numerical respect.
It's true.
Look, this is all about math, and you do the math, you do the eye test, and the Lions are on that front page, top 10. Here's what they write about them. In their post-draft ranking, they were at 13. They have moved up to number 10 here. The write-up is, expectations are high in Detroit, and the Lions have reassured Jared Goff that he is their guy. With that being said, it would be a disappointment if the Lions don't reach the postseason after narrowly missing the playoffs in 2022. The Lions finished the season with 8 wins in the last 10 games, and Goff's strong play was a major factor, but they'll need him to be consistent all season. In his third year in Detroit, he'll have to produce if he hopes to lock down a long-term deal. Goff is signed through 2024, but the team drafted Hendon Hooker, and his future is not clear. But number 10 for the Detroit Lions.
You got to be happy because when I listen to that, what I hear is, one, they expect the Lions to win the NFC North. That's one. That's the first thing I take from that. Two, they expect the Lions to win their first playoff game. Like, I BS you not. They think the Lions are going to win their first playoff game. It's a lot of respect for the Detroit Lions, and they expect them to play well in the NFC that is ever-changing. That's what you always say, Ryan. That NFC is ever-changing. That's good. I think this is a great start for the Detroit Lions because, one, you want respect. I don't care how much you want to use the old East Lansing adage of it's us versus the world, and we don't care where you put us. The disrespect. you don't want to be disrespected always. You want to get respect when you deserve respect. And I think the Detroit Lions have put themselves in a situation to deserve respect. And here's that respect. They're only behind teams at playoffs. These teams go to the playoffs every year, and these teams are in Super Bowl contention. Every team in here is in Super Bowl contention, whether it's the Chargers.
Except the Chargers.
Well,
I just don't like their coach. They probably are, though.
No, and I agree.
I'm just making
Great
a
uniforms,
joke.
though.
No, you're right. They're not going to make it to the Super Bowl, but they're in that conversation because of Justin Herbert. You got the Ravens. They got Lamar Jackson. The Cowboys. They're in it every year, whether they deserve it or not, and the list goes all the way up to the top. All the teams on this list, they're mentioning somebody's Super Bowl watch list, and guess what? Detroit Lions are right there.
Hey, there's 14 teams that make the playoffs. They got the Lions at number 10.
Right.
Like Braylon said, that means you've won a playoff game probably, and maybe more than that. That's the first time in my lifetime that I've seen the Lions in the top 10 of anything.
Of a preseason, right?
Yes.
Like the first
Ever.
as you start the season, this is the expectation for the Detroit Lions. And even though they're number 10 on this list, there are only 3 teams in the NFC that are above them.
Yeah.
It is Philadelphia, it is San Francisco, and Dallas.
How about that?
Yeah.
And in Dallas again
Fake.
is
And that's fake.
Well, Dallas to me again Dallas is the NFC East champion to me this year as I go in, just based on history alone. Nothing else, just history, because nobody's won that division back-to-back years in about a decade. So I'm just basing it on history.
No, and that's perfectly fine. They can win that division. That division is interesting every year. But Dak Prescott's not the answer. And so I view them I view the Cowboys as a team. Yeah, they deserve to be in there because they're there every year. They won 13 games last year, and people forget that.
And
that
a playoff
defenses
game.
And a playoff game. So they deserve to be in
Even
there,
though it was the Bucs.
but that's it. We know Dak Prescott is not the guy that's going to take them to the NFC Championship. He's not the guy that's going to win that. So, yeah, they deserve to be in there, but I like the Lions above the Dallas Cowboys.
They should have beat Dallas last year.
Yeah.
In Dallas. I mean, they fumbled on the goal line. Jamal Williams turned the whole game
Who got the
around.
who got the stop on the
Micah. Micah.
I like to piss Maz off.
It is interesting. I do want to read for you, Braylon, because you had mentioned, this just kind of shows you you are expected to win the NFC North. And when you look at the other NFC North teams in here, they've got Minnesota at 15, they've got Green Bay at 20, and they've got the Chicago Bears at 24. Nobody even close.
Was this Green Bay? Was this projection before everybody fell in love with Jordan Love over the weekend?
Right. Yeah.
Was it before that?
Well, it came out yesterday, so I assume it's after the fall in love session.
No, which tells you, and that's why one of the biggest things too in that write-up was it would be disappointed if this team didn't make the playoffs. Basically, they're trying to say they would be disappointed if it doesn't win the NFC North because the NFC North right now doesn't seem like it's going to be a good division.
You got to give my boy John a mic because he is just talking. He is answering everything you guys are saying. You brought up Jordan Love. He's like, oh my God,
mic.
Jordan Love. Oh,
Hey, get the extra mic for him.
I'm just saying, it's he's agreeing with you boys.
I don't have a mic right now.
We're about to get you a mic. We're about to get you a
It
mic.
is outrageous the amount of love that Jordan Love got for one good preseason performance. Like, it's just crazy to me that they got so much love so quick.
And I'm curious to see what they do this year.
Yeah.
That's for those of you not watching and doing audio only. Jersey John, Maz's guy, is in the house with us in studio.
Visiting from Hoboken.
Fine
right.
area.
Best pizza.
We bring a very serious take on all things sports in Hoboken, New Jersey. So I'm gonna call it like it is, and I think Jordan Love. That is just crazy that people are giving him that much love.
Well, I don't think there's a team. I don't think there's a team in the division other than the Detroit Lions who can win more than 8 games. I think I could see a scenario in which Minnesota, Green Bay, and Chicago all finish 8 and 9.
Well, you know what? Before we answer about that, let me tell you about the Lions pregame. The Woodward Sports Lions pregame show returns for another Lions football season. Join us, WSN host Jeff Iafrey, that's my guy right there, with weekly special guests on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. I will be on a couple weeks. Tune in for that, as well as Ryan, as well as Maz. Whether you're sipping the Kool-Aid or kicking off screaming same old Lions, you will not want to miss this show. It premieres live starting Thursday, September 2nd. See you there. See you soon. But yeah, I agree with you in terms of that division or this division. Sounds about right. I mean, it's still some wild cards. I still have questions, and the questions are, You know, you add Brian Flores as the defensive coordinator for Minnesota Vikings. How is that going to help them? I'm interested to see what Green Bay is going to do because they got some weapons in offense. Now, they got a great offense. They got a great running back situation, great running backs room. You have some wide receivers, Romeo Dobbs. You see how Christian Watson finished last season. You still got some good offensive linemen to protect Jordan Love. And then, obviously, with Chicago, you just want to see what the hell Justin Fields' show is going to be about.
Sure.
You know, I mean, what is your take on Chicago with Justin Fields and that experiment, what they did in the offseason?
Well, I think it's interesting because as of right now, actually, at my current job, don't know if I can name drop him, Justin Fields is the second most bet on person to win the MVP award.
Rep your side.
Right now. And I think that's a lot of hopeful skeptics being like the running and like that dynamic.
They saw what Jalen Hurts did last year.
Yeah.
They think they can be recreated with Justin Fields.
Don't forget, he's on Sports Illustrated. Watch out for the jinx, right? Jalen Hurts, Sports Illustrated jinx.
And I think what it comes down to for me is like, yeah, the end of the year was great.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can do for a full season with some weapons and see if he's got it. You got Khalil Herbert back there with him too. It's going to be a dynamic backfield. Is that going to do anything for him, or is it going to hinder him? I don't know. I don't buy into it early in the season.
You don't buy into it?
No.
I'm eager to see, because one thing about Justin Fields, when he was at Ohio State, was a prolific passer. I mean, a lot of quarterbacks at Ohio State are, but he was a prolific passer. We didn't even know he could run the ball until he got into the NFL. So I'm interested to see what they put together for him as a package this year. But the Jordan Love situation, getting back to him, I'm actually interested to see how it played out. I was one of those guys that don't believe in Jordan Love. Hell, I still don't believe in Jordan Love.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
But that's what I was going to say, Maz. Maybe I'm hastily rushing my judgment. Maybe I'm not paying attention to the fact that he's set for 3 years behind one of the best to ever do it, much like a couple other quarterbacks that have had some success in recent years. Maybe I'm not paying attention to the weapons that they have. I mean, Christian Watson was a monster in the last 8 games of the season. You know, he and Aaron really got on the same page. Maybe I'm not paying attention that he and his teammates actually like each other, that they're hanging out with each other, that they're bonding with each other, defense and offense. He's making some throws. So I know it's training camp. I know it's early. Maybe I rushed the judgment, so I don't know. I don't think it will pan out to 10 games this year. But, hey, who am I? I'm only an analyst.
Theo Epstein had spoke at like some Yale graduation, gave a commencement address at Yale graduation, and he was facilitating on Twitter, and I don't have it for you. I'm sorry about that. But it facilitated on Twitter yesterday, and Braylon, you're just talking about heart and this, that, and the other thing. Theo Epstein was talking about when he first became a general manager, he thought that every player was a transaction. Every player was just numbers on a spreadsheet, and that's how he was going to build a team.
Yeah.
And as he went on, he's like, no, the intangibles matter. The heartbeat matters. What's in your head matters.
Yeah.
If you're likable, matters.
Yeah.
You know, all these things add to facilitating building a team. And once they kind of figured that out, the most talented guy in the room wasn't always the guy that you wanted in that room. And I think, you know, just to kind of piggyback off of what you were talking about with Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers, maybe that does matter there in Green Bay.
Yeah.
It's certainly something that we believe is happening here in Detroit for the Lions.
I mean, look at the Rams. You made me watch that movie, the Underdog, the American
Kurt
Story.
Warner.
Made me watch that movie, and I'm glad you did. It was cheesy, but it was a damn good movie. Who's better, Mark Bulger or Kurt Warner? On paper, Mark Bulger was better than Kurt Warner, but Kurt Warner had that heart. Kurt Warner knew his teammates. Kurt Warner had that struggle, and he was able to do that. And I'm not saying it's the same situation, but it seems like the guys really are bonding around Jordan Love, and it's going to be interesting to watch.
Can't measure the guy's heart.
You can't.
Can't measure the guy's heart. No doubt. Guys, we'll take a break. Jim Harbaugh suspended for 3 games. We'll pivot to a little college football. Also, we'll go around the NFL after a small dose of college football. Is Washington the team to beat in the NFC East now? Just kidding. I said that tongue-in-cheek. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC, a trusted name for over 50 years. Les Stanford Buick GMC, same great service that customers have come to know. You can go check them out on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. And of course, if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want. All GM brands under one umbrella. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
All of Detroit sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
You know what time it is. Play, practice, and party down at 5 Iron Golf inside the Cambria Hotel in Detroit, Michigan. It is the new spot to hang and kick it. Over 13 brand new simulators. You can play any course in the country, in the world that you want to. Also, food is good, the drinks are good, and the vibe is good. Come on down to the Cambria Hotel, 5 Iron Golf, downtown Detroit.
Woodward Sports
Buffed up,
Network
baby.
on a Tuesday. Hell yeah, you got buffed up.
You buffed up, baby.
We got buffed up. Want to thank Will Johnson and his family. University of Michigan, number 2. Will Johnson, Grosse Pointe South's finest.
Stud.
Shout out to
One of them. He overtook me as Grosse Pointe. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, pipe down over there with all that. But no, shout out to Will Johnson, man, and the buffs. You got buffed up. Appreciate the buffs you sent to your boy. Will Johnson's a damn good player, and most preseason lists, top 10 players, Will Johnson's name is exactly where Detroit Lions' name is. Some of them have 8 in the country already after 1 year of football.
Exactly. Top 10 player in the country.
In the country, not the Big Ten.
So here's the deal. Will Johnson and his family, they've got an NIL situation here. Will2johnson.com is the website. You can hashtag turnover buffs. These things are pretty sweet. I think the turnover buffs alone,
Yeah.
I mean, the entire stadium should have them.
Yeah.
Like Michigan should buy all these from the website and get into the stadium. So they're having a maze-out game against ECU, East Carolina on 9/2. That's September 2nd. Grab your maze jersey or your maze T-shirt. That's right. Get buffed up.
You know Mike G is going to get one of them.
Mike G?
No question.
Absolutely.
Michigan
Again, the website, will2johnson.com. Support your boy.
I love seeing like the Detroit culture influenced into Ann Arbor. You saw that back with the Fab Five, man. You saw that with ourselves, and now you're seeing Will Johnson bring that Detroit culture in. The Buffs, hey man, back when I was in high school, they used to snatch these off kids' faces, man. Now they wearing them at the big house. Man, how far we've come.
Come on, Will Johnson.
Come on, Will
Come
Johnson.
on, Will. No doubt about it. JB, you got something here? What's this? I can't read that.
I got it.
Okay. Oh, thanks. Give me a minute for a uniform change here.
All right, so while Ryan takes his little uniform change, let me tell you about the college and NFL live streams we will be having here at Woodward Sports. If you're anything like us, you know there's nothing better to do on a fall weekend than lock into hours and hours and hours of football. Well, now Woodward Sports can top that. Sit back, crack open a cold one, line up your bets, and tune in to watch college football all Saturday, every Saturday, and Lions football Sunday with your favorite Woodward Sports personalities. Woodward Sports Live Game Watch Party is the latest show to hit the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel. Premiering September 2nd at 12 p.m. to watch the Michigan versus ECU game, then the State versus CMU game. Then tune into the Lions season kickoff against the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead on September 7th. Watch along all season on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel.
Awesome. All right. Very good. I had to give a little love to my guy Will Johnson. You know,
you ain't the only one. He deserves it, man. You know, the season that he had last year, and it just goes to show where Michigan is at nowadays. Even when Harbaugh first started there, Michigan was, you know, you look at the 2016 season. Jabril Prepper almost wins the well, he's up for the Heisman. 2017, they have another good year. 15, they have a 16, they had a good year. But they didn't have guys that were top 10 in the country preseason. They didn't have guys after their freshman year that were playing so well. One of the biggest knocks on Michigan at that time was they couldn't develop the players that were coming in. Rashawn Gary was the number one player in the country coming in, and he was the same player for the 3 years at Michigan. He became a better player once he got to the NFL. Now they're starting to develop players in college. Now you're seeing the change from freshman year to sophomore year, from sophomore year to junior year, or from junior year to money year. You're seeing the change. Harbaugh deserves a lot of credit for that.
And speaking of Harbaugh, Bray, yesterday it was announced that Michigan will self-impose a 3-game suspension. I don't think Harbaugh wants any part of this. No. He wasn't part of the original statement. Ward Manuel came out and said, there was some wrongdoing and we take accountability for that. Harbaugh didn't do anything. He didn't say anything. I think if it was up to Harbaugh, and again, I don't know this. Yeah. This is not based on any sort of inside information. It's just knowing Harbaugh, I think the way we know him, he would have fought this to the death. Yeah. And he would have been just fine doing it. There is a disagreement inside Schembechler Hall about the way to go about handling this NCAA investigation.
He would have fought it to the death, but the issue, Ryan and Ermanni, is they would have fought that all the way through this football season. They would have fought it all the way through the Ohio State game, all the way through the Penn State game, all the way through the Big Ten championship game. You see where I'm going. This would have been a distraction for the season. Just get it over with. It's 3 games against 3 teams that you have no problem not being the head coach for. Then you do it, then it's over with. At the end of the day, it's some dumb you-know-what. Both things are dumb. We don't even know what that blackout period was anymore because the NCAA was so clear. Yes, it was a cheeseburger. Yes, it was only a cheeseburger. But to a certain extent, if you're following the old rules of the NCAA, it's against the rules per se. But are we in the old rules? Are we in the new? The big thing now is 3 games. You get it out the way. And Michigan, Harbaugh, Ward, they don't have to talk about this for the rest of the year. All you can talk about is getting to the Penn State game, then getting to the Ohio State game, and eventually getting to the semifinals. We finally can get a win. I think it's just good to get the distraction off the table because this is a distraction because everybody's talking about it nationally. Whether it's no longer Michigan is doing things that are just in state. It's a national brand, the national brand. Just get it over with.
I don't think they should have done this. I'm with Harbaugh on this one. And like he tells his team, don't get bitter, get better. I mean, the guy, he talks around everything. He's never going to say anything that he's not going to say he did anything wrong, ever. He's going to go down with the ship on this one. And I don't know if they should have done this because if the NCAA didn't have enough power to invoke that 4-game suspension, I say to hell with this. Just play the season out, and then let's see if they try to come back at you again. Because this don't mean that the NCAA isn't going to still come back at you. This is just you saying, hey, we'll do this. Leave us alone. I just think it's a bad look.
Here's my question to that. One, the NCAA has no power. By them saying we're going to invoke this ourselves, They know the NCAA can't do anything about it. NCAA doesn't have any power anymore. They don't. So that's why they're saying we'll just do it now. But here's my big thing, and I'll let you jump in, Jersey, is what are you telling your players, or what are you teaching your players, the young men, that your job as a head coach is to teach these young men, shape these young men's minds in the right way when they're away from their parents, when they're away from mom and dad or the grandmother or the legal guardian. What are you telling your kids if you did something that you know is illegal but you try to fight it? Like, what are you telling me if you've done so? And I said if you've done something that is illegal and you're teaching your kids, no, you deny, you fight. Well, if you did something illegal, then why fight it? Why not get it done and repent and then get on?
But maybe he's telling the kid, I didn't do anything wrong.
Right. And that's why I said,
these kids were already coming to my program, and the kid was hungry. I bought him a hamburger.
Yeah.
That's it.
What about the kid that did the Zoom for like 6 push-ups on the Zoom when he wasn't supposed to be on a Zoom with a kid during COVID? You know, I mean, but again, like that's the problem I have.
Yeah.
Like when, okay, our Michigan State friends are gonna say, "Oh, this wasn't about a cheeseburger."
Right.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. But when you make a crime from something that should have never been a crime in the first place, that's why I automatically dismiss it.
Yep.
So he lied about the cheeseburger. He lied about the Zoom. He lied about the practice that they did during COVID.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay, whatever. These things should have never been crimes or illegal in the first place by the NCAA. So that's why I have, I think our Michigan State friends want Michigan to be so mad about Harbaugh and all of these things that happen, and the NFL and Minnesota and Mazzy Smith and all these things as a trend. It don't matter.
Yeah.
You know what matters? Win a playoff game.
Yeah.
This is real life here. Nobody cares about Mazzy Smith. Nobody cares about Jim Harbaugh and a cheeseburger. Nobody cares if you continue to beat Ohio State. If you don't beat Ohio State, if you lose Big Ten championships, people are going to want you out. They make things like this enormous.
Yeah.
If you win Big Ten championships, if you beat Ohio State, nobody cares about this stuff. Welcome to life. You have finally been born.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, welcome to life.
Look, man.
You're right. Oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna piggyback off your point, and I was gonna say, this is a guy who's one of the greatest motivators in college football, right? That is his calling card. He loves his players. He loves to motivate them. 3 games, Braylon, like you said, beginning of the year, that are not going to matter. They're going to win those games, and then he's going to be the best motivator. If they lose a game the rest of the way, I will be shocked, because these players love playing for him. They're going to want to play for him, and they're going to want to win the rest of the way.
I agree, 100%. We talked about it when it first happened. What we said was, I was like, hey, look, y'all just pissed off the wrong country. I mean, y'all just picked off the wrong team, the wrong coach.
Absolutely.
You pissed them off. They're already the best brand in the Big Ten, the best brand. I know they haven't won a national championship. They're a better brand than Georgia.
No
I know
doubt.
you don't want to hear it, but they're a better brand than Georgia. You just pissed them off. You just gave them more ammo and more fire. The only thing I said to it was, look, when things are right, but I mean, when things are rules, but they suck, it's still rules. Like, look at the deal with Terrell Pryor. Ohio State quarterback, selling all his stuff, outside of it was illegal for us to sell stuff at an inflated rate. Trust me, I know. It was illegal for us to do that. He did it. He got caught. It sucks that you can't make money. That's one of the things that led to the NIL. But at the time, it was illegal. He did it, and it was illegal. Like, laws have to be paid. So if this is something that fell into that realm of NCAA rules and NIL and all that weird 2020 till now, the weird space we've been, if he broke those rules, it's only the first 3 games of the season, 3 teams that by the time we get to November, we will forget what 3 games he missed.
Exactly.
So that's why I said just get it out the way, because I'm tired of talking about it. But it does suck because his pockets will get hit.
Next year they do play Texas week 2, so you get the suspension out of the way. But again, just like any job, though.
Yeah.
I mean, any job. If you're a car salesman, okay, if you can sell 30 cars a month, I bet they're not going to make you stay till 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night and be at your desk. You could probably do whatever you want. And it's just life, man.
If you get caught going 47 and a 45, that's some BS if you get a ticket. But technically, you were 2 miles over the speed limit.
That's what this is.
And guess what? It's illegal. It's illegal.
He still gets to coach during the week. He just can't be there for game day.
It just feels so dumb.
I actually take it a different way. I love the fact that everybody wants us to lose these 4 games, and everybody's mad at Michigan, and everybody's trying to find ways to break Michigan up. You know what that tells me? We're back on top. That's how I look at it. I love it. They're coming at us at all angles. I love it.
Speaking of on top, you'll never believe this quarterback list coming up next.
Shoot.
Gotta have it for you. College football's best quarterbacks.
Oh, no.
Who's on top? You might know him. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Yes, because summertime is a great time to join Planet Fitness and beat low E. At Planet Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. Your fitness is essential and a key part of your physical and mental well-being. So no matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness nearby with more than 50 convenient locations around the Metro Detroit area and thousands more throughout the world. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness, or as always, check them out online at planetfitness.com.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Friggin' Maz is great.
I need this.
I love you, Maz.
Love you too.
Maz has things in the rundown for like 7 days, okay?
7 months.
But I put them in because they're worthwhile, and then you just blow them off.
No, I mean, it's fine, okay? It's fine.
Whatever.
Okay.
I love that this is between you two guys.
Well, listen, it's fine.
I got 20 years on you.
I understand that. It doesn't mean you're always right.
Doesn't mean.
Just doesn't mean that I'm always right. Get in an argument with a 22-year-old kid. What I'm saying is, Lane Kiffin says college football is a business now. Yes.
Well,
what else is there to talk about?
Well, you got to hear them.
Okay, let's play it.
Media Day, and Twitter's going a little crazy about some of the things you had to say about the state of college football.
Not like I'm the president giving the State of the Union, like I'm the president of NIL and portal problems. But like I do that because you guys tell me like afterwards when I kind of do those State of the Union, like how appreciative you are, or like see fans or players, parents or recruits, and they're like, wow, thank you. We didn't really know that's what's really happening because no other coach talks like that. One good part about it being broken, and as I said up there too, is the players, and I've told them, it is a great time for them to capitalize on this. And like I said up there, you can capitalize 3 times. You could capitalize coming out of high school. You can capitalize on your one-time transfer, basically getting a new contract somewhere, and then as a grad transfer. So it's really good for them, but it's really a bad system of trying to manage things.
How has all of this demanded of you to evolve?
I think kind of accepting that you're going to not have phenomenal culture. Doesn't mean I don't work on it, but I think I have to realize, like, hey, it just is what it is. You know, like, one, we don't have many kids that are dying to be here. Like, they didn't grow up wanting to go to Ole Miss. Like, these transfer kids are like, they're going to a place that fits them best at that time. It's not about the school. And you don't really, and you didn't have them, they're not on their 3rd, 4th, 5th year with you to where, like, hey, they know how we do it, they know the expectations, the culture, the other players. Unfortunately now it's like plug and play. And when they used to ask me, like, okay, coaching in the NFL, coaching in college, what do you like? And I was like, I really like the college because it's like the players care so much about where they're at in college. A lot of that locker room, like, that's where they wanted to play for when they grew up, and the passion of the fans.
First of all, how many Ripper Magoos did Lane Kiffin have before the interview? He had a couple of those Ripper Magoos there. He looked a little disheveled. I couldn't listen to him seriously, but Maz, it was a good piece, and he's absolutely right. People aren't enthused to go to Ole Miss anymore. Players aren't enthused to stay at Ole Miss for the entirety of 3 years. The guys that are going to Ole Miss now, probably guys that are local kids, or probably kids that are coming out of another situation where they're transferring to Ole Miss. So there is a lot to say about what Lane Kiffin said. Guys aren't excited, and if you're a coach, how do you coach unenthused guys? How are you coaching guys that are just there for a year or for a business? I get what he's saying. But at the end of the day, man up.
The only thing I take from that, really, and can we run a poll? Should we have done the Lane Kiffin topic or not? I said no. It's been on the rundown for 7 days. Maz tells me he's 20 years older than me, so he's got the experience, and this should be a topic worth discussing. Right. I think the only thing worth discussing is the gall that Lane Kiffin has, of all people, saying that college football is a business now and people aren't excited to go to Ole Miss. Hello, have you checked your resume?
Yep.
Have you seen how many different places have paid you? How many different places you have upped and left because it wasn't good enough or the grass was always greener on the other side?
Still paying, by the way.
So if a player chooses to do this, if a player isn't excited to be at Ole Miss, well, you probably aren't either, Lane. So I mean, I'm very sorry to deal that.
Okay, that's the main reason I wanted to play it, is because of how he is, and he is a carpetbagger. We all know that. And look, he just came, and John reminds me, he looks like he came from Club Med. Just on the overnight. And he had the smoking section. There's no question about it. But the reason I wanted to play it, Rye, is because I just think that is today's college football. And it's an SEC douche, and we don't like him. And it's Big Ten against them. And it just is what it is. Yeah. And I just think if you didn't poo-poo it so much and pee on it, it would have been a good subject.
Well, I guess because we all know that. Like, there was nothing there that he said that we didn't know.
I didn't know that nobody didn't want to go to Ole Miss. I didn't know that. Oxford, Mississippi is supposed to be one of the most beautiful campuses in the country. Oxford, Mississippi.
Nobody wants to go anywhere they're not getting paid.
Well,
this is true.
I just thought it was a fun subject.
All right,
so we can move on now.
Very.
I'll take it out of the rotation as of tonight.
You know what you guys sound like? You guys sound like rivals. Woodward Sports resident part.
You're getting good at this job, by the way. That was a perfect transition.
And Walmart Wolverine Flannel Sam go head-to-head on Woodward Sports' latest show, Woodward Rivals, Fridays 10 to 11 p.m. That's right. We got a night show now, ladies and gentlemen. We need you to tune in weekly. You won't want to miss Flannel Sam, and he's not a Walmart Michigan fan. I know this guy. He knows his stuff. Big Spenny, green and white. It's going to be a great time. You're going to see the U of M heavyweight versus the Michigan State heavyweight. Woodward rivals 10-11. I'm excited to see that because those guys have been getting after it on Twitter for the better part of 8 months now. So we'll see how that show goes.
Incredible stuff there. I want to. Oh my gosh! I got to take another break. Oh my gosh, we're just flying by. See your Lane Kiffin topic.
See?
Just killing me.
What a time vampire.
Oh my God! What a time! You're a time vampire. I do want to mention my list and get Braylon's reaction to it next. We'll go around the NFL. Sam Howell doing big things there.
Hey.
And Skip Bayless has a new co-host.
Hey, Rye. Love you.
Love you. Very good. And I love my haircut at Lady Jane's. That's where you can get an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars. One for you, your wife, your girlfriend, your best bud, whoever you want to give it to. Lady Jane's. It's open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime and talk to Maz. It's wicked awesome.
Yes, sir.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
J.J. McCarthy is the number one quarterback in the country. You heard me right. According to, is this Joel Klatt? Was this Joel Klatt's list?
No, this is the Blue Bloods bias.
Well, he was on Joel Klatt's number one quarterback too, so this is a different list from the one I had.
No, it's the one you sent.
Was it?
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy, number one quarterback in the country. Is there any... I'm trying to think.
Yeah, because I'm ready.
You're going to put him ahead of those two guys?
No, listen. No. Is there any chance that Drake May, Caleb Williams, or Drake May won't be the number one quarterback taken?
No. No, there isn't. And I'm actually going to steal his microphone. Actually, I could do it from my seat. I wanted to get up. I haven't gotten up onto the board before.
Up.
Okay, give it to him.
Get up. Let me see you get up. Let's see you work the board here, bro.
I had to get up there. It's like Kenny.
It's like getting on stage, bro.
It's like Kenny trying to be Shaq.
Show me a little something here.
All right, looking at the list right here as it's currently constructed. Look, I'm going to take my guy. I'm going to just wipe him, and I'm going to place him where he's supposed to be. He's going to win Heisman again this year, barring injury. Knock on wood for my guy.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams is going to win Heisman again, barring injury. He's already NFL game ready. Like, he's already NFL game ready. When you watch the breakdown of his film, the stuff that he is doing, Patrick Mahomes wasn't doing in college. Like the guys that are at the top of the league, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, they weren't doing. Because the more information you have, the more information you can do. So the stuff that he's had to teach and take from, the things that he's learned to high school, has got him in a better situation. Drake May is going number 2. Michael Penix Jr., guy that we both love, Michael Penix Jr., I think this is where J.J. McCarthy is now. I'm putting J.J., you can either put him 5 or 6. I will put him in this spot. Where he can be is 3 by the end of the season. Now, he can get to 3 by the end of the season, but right now, I'm not putting him in front of Caleb Williams, not Drake May, not Michael Penix, not Jaden Daniels, who beat Alabama last year. Not putting him there. I'll put him above Bo Nix and Jordan Travis because I don't trust either one of them. I'll put him above them now. He has the potential to get to 3. But to put him number 1, come on, man. That's too much Kool-Aid.
You know what's
That's too much Kool-Aid.
You know what's not fair? And we do it all the time. Maybe we do, maybe we don't.
Bump
maybe
people down?
Well, I'm looking at Drake May, okay? And I'm saying to myself, what makes this guy so special? I just see another Mitchell Trubisky.
Right.
It's almost like...
That's because you're looking at the uni.
You're looking at the uniform of anybody that was previously there.
Yeah.
Right? And you're trying to project. It's really something that we should not do.
But you also got to look at the people. Well, usually the people that come up with this list wouldn't have them first. But usually the people that come up with this list, they're looking at high school film. They're looking at college film. They're looking at the games that they've played. They're looking at the throws that they've made. They're looking at all that when they're putting this list together. And I'm just saying like this guy's made some throws. This guy's made some plays. And I understand he goes to North Carolina. But ask your wide receiver who's not going to make the team this year. Go ask Austin Green or Antoine Green how good Drake May is. Why do you think Antoine Green got drafted? I'm telling you. Drake May is a damn good quarterback. Caleb Williams is going to be the second coming, so no one's getting drafted before Caleb Williams, and the rest is up for debate.
Look at the guy below Drake May. A lot of people...
He was number 1 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people talking about him and what he's done in the offseason and what he's done in camp. And if you're doing audio only and cannot see,
you can't see
it's
Spencer
Rattler. I got Raxter.
I like Spencer Raxter over Rattler.
Spencer Rattler, the former quarterback of Oklahoma. There was a documentary about him. I think it was on Netflix or Prime or one of those, maybe.
It was Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Remember he came out with his own logo?
Yeah.
And then, 2 weeks later, he was, benched.
Well, it's the hype machine, too. When Spencer Rattler was in there, he talking about he's the starting quarterback at Oklahoma. Oklahoma was what at that time? It's Heisman U. The 2 guys that came before him won the Heisman. So it kind of makes sense if you're trying to cheat and not really do your homework that you would have put him number 1 in that process. And now you realize if you did do your homework. But to your point, the same guys that didn't do homework put him 1. Maybe the same guys are putting these guys ahead of you. You never know. But I do know one thing. These 2, they will be 1 and 2. They will be 1 and 2. And JJ, I think, has a chance to move to this spot.
4 or 5. 3.
Ryan, let me ask you something. And I've asked you this 100 times. What makes you think that JJ is the it guy? Because I really haven't seen it. I do see he can make big throws and his practice is good. And how the hell do you know what he does? He hands the ball off 75% of the time.
I think he's accurate. I think he's fast. I think he can beat you with his mind. I think he has all. You talk about a 5-tool player in baseball. J.J. McCarthy is a 5-tool quarterback. I don't even know if you need 5 tools, but he's got the arm, he's got the legs, he's got the mind. He's got everything you could possibly want in a quarterback. Oh, and he's just got the moxie.
I know he's a great kid, too.
You know who he reminds me of? A more athletic version of Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Yeah. That's who he reminds me of.
He does have his look.
That's who he reminds me of. A more athletic version of Joe Burrow. Now, they don't ask him to toss the ball all over the field, and I do think it's incumbent upon Sharon Moore and Jim Harbaugh, despite the fact that you can run it a little bit, despite the fact that you might be the best rushing team in the country, I do think it's incumbent upon them to get him more highlights, to get him more active through the air, to show people out there that you can, in a situation when you're playing Georgia in a playoff game, or heaven forbid, the national championship, and you're down by 2 scores, that you can air it out and score 2 quick touchdowns in 1 minute and 30 seconds after getting the onside kick.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be something they want to do right now.
It's got to be something you have done.
You got to
all year. You can't just wait 4 months and then when you need it, pull it out.
Right.
You got to step outside your comfort zone. And with Michigan right now, their comfort zone, I talk about this all the time. Jim Harbaugh has never had a 1,000-yard receiver.
Oh.
San Diego, San Francisco, Michigan. He hasn't had a 1,000-yard receiver. They operate on the run. They operate on court. And they had Andrew Luck. It's one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen coming out of college. They were running quarterbacks. They had Toby Gerhardt. They were skilled around the run. Andrew Luck could run the ball. You saw what he did in San Fran as well. Jim Harbaugh has 2 All-American running backs in the backfield right now. 2 All-American potential running backs in the backfield right now. They ain't changing that. But he will add, and I use aim for effect, they will tweak the passing game to a certain extent. But I don't know if they're going to tweak it enough to get J.J. McCarthy drafted over Caleb Williams or Drake May.
Have you been waiting for the perfect pair with your nightcap? Well, wait no longer. Woodward Sports bringing you the newest show on the network, Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. We found 2 of Detroit's newest up-and-coming sports personalities. We are giving them a voice. Weekdays, 8 to 10 p.m., premiering Tuesday, September 5th. Join Booner and Broder every single night to hear some of Detroit's hottest takes, the best entertainment, and join the boys to talk some sports. We promise that you are not going to want to miss this. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on the WSN YouTube channel. Be sure to tune in. One more thing about this, Braylon.
Go ahead, I got one thing too.
Look at these 10 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix,
transfers,
Spencer Rattler, and Graham Mertz.
Transfers.
All transfers.
Oh.
Incredible.
Where's Deion's kid?
I don't need Lane Kiffin to tell me that college football is a business now. Thank you, Lane.
You know, there's one thing I want to see out of
Glad
JJ.
I heard him, though.
There's one thing I want to see out of JJ. And JJ is my guy. I've talked to him a couple times on DM. Shot him out. Big love. Big year coming out of you this year. Big guy. I want to see him have that one angry moment. Because he's a sweet kid. He's a sweetheart. He's a Christian. He's a good kid. He says the right thing. I want to see him have one of them FU moments. I gotta see 1 or 2 of those this year. That's when I know he's ready. You don't have to curse, because I know you don't have to curse, but it needs to be an FU moment.
You said you had one more thing, Maz.
Yeah, I was bringing up Deion's kid, Shador.
Oh.
Shador, Shiloh, where the hell is he at? There's another transfer guy.
I think he's going to be on that list.
He's going to surprise you. I think. What do you think the ceiling is for Colorado this season? Just this season.
Ceiling 7-5.
7-5. Yeah.
Ceiling 7-5. Next year, I think they can win the national championship. I do. I think it's not going to take Deion Sanders long.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, he's had a lot of health issues this year, so I don't know how much he's been around.
Right.
Give him 2 years, man, and he'll be fighting for a national championship.
I like your ceiling, but then you went crazy and said national championship.
I do,
next year.
man. I will never underestimate the power of Deion Sanders.
I agree with you on that, but I will say this, and Maz, tell me if you agree. I can't say a guy is going to transfer from the SWAC from Jackson State, where they did not win the conference, and he's going to go to Colorado, who won 1 game last year, and the year after that, they're going to win the national championship. He had to at least have won at Jackson State. He lost to Jackson State. So I think they're definitely ceiling 7-5. I agree. I think next year playoffs, I agree with that. But national championship, 4 years.
What is this? Who's the? My head is exploding. USC's coach.
What's his name? Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley. Is it Lincoln Riley's second year?
Yeah.
We think he can win the national championship?
Lincoln Riley won 11. He won 12 games at Oklahoma 4 years in a row. And he had 2 Heisman Trophy winners. That's different.
It's all about the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's all about the quarterback. If he can get a quarterback, he can make it. Look, this is look.
You just discounted 4 playoff appearances and 2 Heisman Trophy winners.
Well, I'm just saying Lincoln Riley without Caleb Williams ain't nothing. Caleb Williams a transfer.
Right.
Michael Penix Jr. a transfer.
Right.
Jaden Daniels a transfer.
Right.
These are 3 of the top 5 teams in the country. 3 of the top 10 teams in the country.
Oh, by the way, when Lincoln Riley inherited Oklahoma, they had won 11 years before that. 11 games the year before that. Bob Stoops gave him a kingdom that was already intact. Deion inherited some BS.
And then Lincoln Riley blew it up with Spencer Rattler.
Oh, yeah. He got him out of there quick.
And then
He got him out of there.
You're out.
He saw that, though.
Oh, my gosh. We'll go around the NFL next, but first a message from Randy.
Randy Wise, you know it. How would you like to play celebrity? How would you like to play golf?
I'm tired of playing
like
golf.
a celebrity. You can do just that. Stop at any Randy Wise dealership for your chance to play golf like a celebrity. It's VIP transportation, and it's free golf to one of Michigan's best tracks, and then a tasty steak afterwards, courtesy of Fairway Packing Company. Make the wise decision. Get to a Randy Wise dealership right away. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment sales, service, parts, carrying the top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more. They service the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipCo.com. OutdoorEquipCo.com, your power equipment playground. Woodward Sports Network. Maz has a visitor in studio. Known him his whole life.
John Franklin. Jersey John from Hoboken. Known him since he was 6 years old. He grew up with my nephew Matt, and now he's doing big things. He's on reality TV. The guy works for BetMGM. He's their social media on-air personality, and I'm proud of him. And he's here visiting. He saw Braylon yesterday at the Jalen Rose Golf Academy. The golf outing.
Yeah, that's what they should put in
Got
those,
some video?
Seeing the goodie bags, when you go to these outings, the best thing about playing in these outings is you get the goodie bags. You get the polo, you get some golf balls, you get the nice bag. If they should put in there is a couple free bets from MGM. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
That's all I'm saying. That's all. Hey, you got to come correct.
That's right. Hey, let's go around the NFL, Tom Mazaway.
Hey, last night, look, no one really loves preseason football. But last night, there was something about this game. And it was, first of all, the first Monday Night Football game on ESPN. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, the rest of the game.
Boo.
So it's in D.C. And to say the less, you know the scoop. The Ravens had won 24 straight preseason games. And during the week, if you remember, Mark Andrews, the all-pro tight end from Baltimore, I don't know, what do you want to call what he did to that Washington player? He picked him up, and he threw him down, and he I don't know if it's his collarbone or if it's his shoulder. Anyway, he wrecked him. He's out for the year. So Washington is all up and saying, all right, we're going to be ready for this game. We're going to end Baltimore's win streak. And they did just that. And Sam Howell played a hell of a game. Now, here's the guy that really no one talked about last year when he got picked. When did he get picked? 4th round, maybe? Sam Howell?
Yeah.
Washington took him.
Yeah.
And you know what? He wins the starting job. Last week they admit, hey, Sam Howell's our guy. And look what he did last night, right? Look at those numbers.
19 of 25, $188, 2 touchdowns, 3 first-half scoring drives. Pretty darn good.
And they win it on a Joey Sly 48-yard field goal with about 7 seconds to go, and that snapped the win streak for Baltimore. Everybody was into this game. Even who was the guy that wrote to Joe Buck? Oh, Bob Papa, who does the Giants play-by-play. He tweets in, he texts in to Joe Buck during the game, and he's like, I'm surprisingly so interested in the outcome of this game. And Joe Buck's like, yeah. And then Troy Aikman's like, this is the best preseason game I've ever been a part of. And I enjoyed the hell out of the 4th quarter. I don't know if any of you guys caught it, but it was pretty cool. I'm ready for football.
I saw the 4th quarter, and a lot of people out there were talking about the celebration of the Washington Commanders after this was, it wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for? It was too much. I'll say that. And I disagree. I firmly disagree, and this is why I disagree. One, that was 24 wins in a row is what the Baltimore Ravens have had in the preseason. Clearly, the Baltimore Ravens care about these games. They care about these preseason games. They try to win every preseason game, or their record wouldn't be 24-1. The fact that they care that much, the Washington Commanders care that much, and they're a new team. And I say new team because they're about to get a new stadium. They have new ownership. They got rid of you-know-who. They are trying to be a new team, and this is how you show you're trying to be a new team. I don't think it was too much. I think it was well-deserved, and it was warranted. That's the word I was looking for. I think it was warranted.
Add them to the list.
I think it was warranted.
I got something for you, Ryan.
You just made the list.
You didn't see the game. Whoever missed the game missed a pretty funny part of the game. When they went up to the booth and Joe Buck is there.
Oh, my God.
Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are there.
Hilarious.
And Josh Harris, the new owner, the chairman of the Washington football team, Commanders/Redskins, was up there in the booth. And they're talking to him. And Josh thought Joe Buck put his hand out to shake his hand. Check this out.
Watch Troy Aikman, too.
Yeah, I mean, you're no stranger. You're no stranger to professional sports teams.
Wait, it's too many things happening there.
It's
too many things happening there.
I mean, you're no stranger. You're no stranger
how
to
you doing? Appreciate that.
professional
Look
sports
at
teams.
Look at Troy.
It took Troy 5 minutes to stop laughing. I kept watching him, and they kept going back to him. And I'm not going to play the whole thing, but he was just laughing his ass off.
What's funny about that is I think Scott Harris, not Scott Harris, excuse me.
Josh
Harris. Scott Harris actually is here.
Yeah.
I think Josh Harris realized that he wasn't supposed to get it. And that's
He put his hands
Then he got a car. He was like, oh, shoot, I wasn't supposed to do that.
Oh,
what do I do with my
God,
hands?
dude.
It turned into Talladega
So
Nights.
awesome.
What do I do with my
That's
hands?
the kind of owner I'd want, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Oh,
He's like,
man.
yeah, I'll shake your hand.
That was funny.
All right.
That was funny as hell.
You guys all make fun of me, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
I've been going to bat for Baker Mayfield for some time now. Guess what?
He got cut.
He's the starting quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccanuers.
For a reason.
Named the number 1 starter. Kyle Trask will be the number 2 behind him. Although, who's their coach again? Former Jets coach?
Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles said, hey, Kyle Trask is improving. He's really doing well, blah, blah, blah. But Baker, he's the guy going forward.
I was at camp last week, and that's who the Jets were scrimmaging against. It was against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kyle Trask made some nice throws. Kyle Trask made some throws. They were on point. They were on time. Baker, not so much. I'm telling you, man, this is what you call organic tanking, man. They're going to start Baker Mayfield, and they're going to get a couple losses in, and then they'll throw Kyle Trask in there to get him some experience going into next season. But this is what you call organic tanking. You know what they're trying to get. They're trying to get that guy that was number 2 on the board right there, Caleb Williams.
You know
it. 100.
Or at least have their choice of whoever they want to take,
Hey,
right?
It's between Arizona and them, I think.
No kid.
100.
That's an organization that didn't win a playoff game for 20-plus years until Tom Brady came. That's an organization that probably won't win a playoff game for another 20 years without Tom Brady. It's not. Look, they've had a lot of head coaches before him and after him. That's an organizational problem over there.
True.
Guys, message from Cintron. One more break.
How would you Yes, you. How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win that $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas. And buy Cintron at your local Meijer. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the choice of people who desire to look good, feel great, and be the best version of themselves. The website is drinkcintron.com/Vegas, drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Guys, I want to mention just quickly about baseball. I know a lot of people watching don't care about baseball. But look, I am so into this Tigers team. I am so into these guys.
Yeah.
They lost 7-6 last night.
John was there.
But this was as exciting a game as you can get. These young guys are coming through unlike anything I've ever seen before when it comes to homegrown. We have not seen this type of homegrown talent since 1978.
Yeah.
1979.
Good call.
That's the last time you had more than one player come up and be a nucleus for what we believe is many years to come. You had 4 guys in the lineup last night, drafted by this team, developed by this team, produce for this team. This is as exciting a time as I can remember for the Detroit Tigers. Really. And, you know, look, that 06 to 16 time frame, awesome, right? Awesome, incredible. They were the New York Yankees. They were the
best.
It was incredible. If there was a free agent up, he was coming to the Tigers. Dave Dombrowski was doing everything. Gary Sheffield, Miguel Cabrera, Max Scherzer, whoever it was. Sean Casey, come on over.
Mags, of course.
It was incredible. But this team is awesome to watch. I mean, Torkelson, Riley, Carpenter, Meadows, and you got Justin Henry Malloy, who was a trade, but you know he's another young guy. The youth on this team is so freaking exciting. Now, last night was a little bit of an epitome of what that season has been.
They can't close.
You just can't get there.
Nope.
You know what I mean? But they will. They will get there, and this. You're going to have Tigers baseball back again, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
you will have Tigers baseball back.
And it's so crazy.
Book it.
They trade one of their guys that they bought up, Michael Lorenzen, and he goes and throws a no-hitter.
Right.
We're bringing him back.
Another guy. I hope so.
Just wanted to mention, just awesome.
Spencer Torkelson went 4 for 5. I don't have all his numbers in front of me, but they're staggering.
He's got 19 homers since June 1st.
He's got 23 right now. 4 for 5 last night. Just his slugging percentage is over 1,000 right now in this last 3 weeks. He is on fire. Riley Green playing well. Harry Carpenter, 3 for 5. Another home run for him. 19 now for him. They're putting it together, like you said, and it's great to see. They're getting good starting pitching. Faedo was good last night. Not great. He was good. But they come back twice. They give up, 2 in the ninth. They come back with 1 in the bottom of the ninth. Just not enough. And, John, you were there last night. How was the crowd? About 25,000 there.
It was – the atmosphere was incredible. Like you guys have said, it's just there's a palpable feeling that baseball is really going to be back for a long time. I mean, I think Torkelson and Carpenter went back-to-back, right? Last night, home runs.
They did, yeah.
And the stadium erupted. I mean, they're looking forward to it for a long time, and you could tell.
This team's winning the division next year.
They could, right?
They're winning the division next year. They are.
Yeah, this is fun to watch, man. It's thinking about 19 home runs from one individual. Last year, 19 would have been all they had put together.
Since June 1st, he's got like 23 now. It's crazy.
We're talking about the other year they had 19, but just saying, like last year, 19 home runs would have been all they had put together, let alone one individual.
If Javi could only hold his bat and not swing at a pitch
everything
6 feet out of the way. I mean, he looks so bad sometimes that, and he wants to beat his old team. I know he's really trying. It's just like you said, Rye. You get the highs and lows with this guy. Hopefully next year you get more of the highs. Maybe they work with him and they get him right again.
I feel like he started off the season listening to what Scott Harris talked about. Scott Harris, when he first came in, what he preached was staying within the strike zone, swinging at pitches that matter, taking those good looks, those good cuts. Seemed like he started off kind of the season that way, and then he's been up and down. He's been trying to find himself. It seems as if they've gotten better. It seems like he's gotten worse. I don't know what it is.
Spencer Torkelson is the first player since 2021. In 2021, Eric Haas and Jonathan Scope hit 20 home runs. Spencer Torkelson is now added that list. I mean, this guy has just been a stud not all year, but recently in the past couple of months, this guy has just lived up the expectations that we all
and a good glove
so.
on top of it.
Speaking of stud, pause. Did you see your boy Julio Rodriguez and what he did?
He's done it again.
He's amazing.
Seattle's a real deal.
Player was the second player ever to do it. 4 games in a row.
What did he do?
He went 4 for 4, 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
He's at like 17. He's got like 17 hits in 4 games.
Did you see what happened to Randy Arozarena, the guy that came in second to the home run derby?
Yeah.
He's hit 1 home run in the second half of the year.
He hit too many during the All-Star game.
He is ruined. I mean, the home run derby wrecked him.
Wow.
He's not that type of hitter. He's not that type of volume home run hitter.
And then Wander Franco is now on administrative leave. You might never see that guy play another ball game.
Might never see him in the country again.
Isn't that?
Damn.
I mean, this guy just signed a huge deal last year. Going to be the face of the Tampa Bay Rays, and now they want him. He's not even allowed near the team.
I wonder how that works. Like if you get to get out of that or
not. They're getting out of it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, they're getting out of it.
Incredible.
But what a waste.
No doubt. All right, guys, great stuff. Jersey John, great to meet you, man. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself today.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. I didn't expect to get a microphone.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
Oh
sure,
man,
man,
whatever Maz says goes around
Make
here.
sure you put
just
out the
figured
word
that
to
out.
BetMGM that we need him here.
All right, I will.
All right.
Get you to work, man.
Let's go.
Gotta get Braylon free money.
That's what I'm talking
Let's
about.
go.
See, this is hey, squeaky wheel gets the oil,
There
baby.
you go. Bray, get us out of here,
Hey,
big
no,
guy.
you gotta let him do it. Hey, Jersey Johnny, get us out of here, man.
You got to get us out. Get us
Get
out,
us out of
John.
here, man. Just talk about the show. Say goodbye to the people. Thanks for watching.
Say goodbye to the people.
All right, sounds good. Great show today. A lot of great topics. A lot of great talent. We will see you tomorrow.
We'll see you.
Look at that guy.